I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely
All right, live from Studio 6B. Man, we had a speaker in the studio just blaring out the music. Sounded good, though, but it was a little loud. 8 o'clock on the East Coast, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick Rick. He's got sports coming up. Look at that. Looking at that pink there. What is that? Fuchsia?
Yeah,
I call it fuchsia.
Yeah, fuchsia. I call it.
I like that. Slick's going to have sports. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your day?
It was a great Tuesday.
It was? Very good.
Nice day.
All right, very good. Rick Delgado's got the news tonight. How are you? Yeah, of course. I'm just going to stop asking.
I'm fine.
How was your day? How's your dog, by the way?
My dog is doing great.
Doing good on the medicine?
Oh, my goodness. Ever since we got him on the medicine from the vet, seizure-free.
Oh,
and that's what the vet said it probably will happen. So
that's great.
We're very happy.
All right, very good. We got some news. We have sports. We'll talk about the upcoming odds makers coming up. I've decided that I'm going to be involved with the odds makers through the playoffs and through the Super Bowl. I'm going to make the picks as well.
Really?
Yes. Aaron and I had a little text back and forth today about the odds makers coming up this week, and we've decided on 5 games is the right number.
Okay.
Because you've got 6 NFL games and 1 college game.
Well, we got a conflict with the college game because it starts before the show airs. It's a 7:30 game on Friday night this season.
Okay, so me, you, and Aaron can pick that game on Thursday night before we get off the air.
That we can do.
And then the guests can just pick 5 NFL games.
Okay.
So we can either pick 5 NFL games ourselves or 4 NFL and the college.
No,
I might not even use the college.
Let's do the whole 5 on the NFL.
Yeah.
But what I've decided is I'm actually going to do this, like, instead of just looking at my phone 5 seconds before and actually pick Slick, I'm actually going to handicap this week. It's the good old days of me and Paul Nolan.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
So what
That's
does
right. You should say, oh, boy, because you guys are dead.
So what does that mean?
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm coming after both of you.
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see?
Bring it. Come on. Come on, Big D.
I'm coming in for real. I will not be farmering my picks.
You
I'm
were
unleashing
2
my
and 2
inner
last
Farmer
week.
Brooke.
That was a big. You really shook the world with
Well,
that
2
one.
and 2 is
Yeah.
not. That's like
3-1 though. You had a 3-1
3 and 1 the week before that.
That was good. That was.
I went 2 and 2 with Kevin.
Aaron
You
went
did?
No, you and Kevin went 0 and 4, didn't you?
No.
There was
Well, you
one
did
time
one
where
week.
Delgado did it by himself and went 2 and 2.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did go
2 and you went 2 and 2.
Right.
Yep.
The 2 of you together went 0 and 4.
No, we went 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Oh, okay, so you sucked a little less than I thought. Okay.
Because he picked the 2 Michigan teams and the Bucks.
Wow, Kevin, everything's Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You kidding me? I think he picked the Red Wings
I think
too.
it was trying to pick the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
So we're gonna make 5 picks, and I'm gonna be in for real.
What does that mean for real?
Well,
When you
because
say- when you
before
say
I
you're
just look at my
handicapping-
phone and just pick, or I pick against these 2 schleps
Right.
because why not?
Yeah, Schleps.
Who you calling a schlep?
Yeah.
Because that's the easy thing
Right.
to do. Like
That's
when
it.
they're both on.
Big
When they're both on. Who played Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just picked Pittsburgh. I don't even need to think about it.
Yeah, won
so.
by a half a point. What a landslide that was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to catch the ticket, though. That's all I
That's true.
care about. Give me the money, baby.
All right, you got
All
skin
right,
in
so
the
you're
game.
going to do research, is what you
I will actually research and handicap the games, but if Slick and Aaron end up on one game together, I will absolutely just flip that game automatically, and I reserve the right to do that.
Okay.
So that's
the way Aaron's playing, you might be a loser there. with that.
That may not be a great idea. The Aaron's been hot all year
Very
long,
hot.
so.
Very hot.
Thank you very much.
So we'll do that on Friday's show. Glad you're in Real America's Voice. Hello to everybody in the chat, wherever you're watching. YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, Kick, Getter, whatever platform you're on. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We appreciate all of you there as well. Lots to get to here on a Tuesday. Although, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that busy to me. And I know it's not that busy news day. Maybe it is for some others in the business, but for me, it's not that busy. But I'll tell you how I know it's not that busy is when I start thinking about broader topics on what's going on in the world. And we talked a little bit about this last night, but I was thinking about today. You know what set me off today is I saw a tweet from somebody, I forget who it was, and it was like, now how many days are we removed from Johnson becoming speaker again? Like 3-4 days?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
The tweet was like, I really like the direction I'm seeing from Mike Johnson right now.
What direction?
Exactly. Thank you, Slick. That's exactly what I wanted to retweet, and then I was like, just stay out of it.
The horse didn't even get out of the barn yet.
Don't be
Come on.
like Vin.
I saw him walking that way, and I really like that direction.
I really like the direction
I do,
from Speaker Johnson right now. And he linked to a clip of Speaker Johnson saying something to the effect of, well, I've told everybody that tell your spouses and wives and husbands that you're not going to be getting a lot of sleep because we're going to be working extra hours to get President Trump's agenda through. And it's like, oh, okay, great. I'm glad we're going to get the agenda through. But really, that we have conservatives now saying, oh, I like what Speaker Johnson's doing because he said we're going to work extra long hours. And that got me thinking to some of the broader points. And we talked about this last night. And the Democrats, when they circle the wagons, they circle the wagons, and everybody falls in line, and they have complete unity. And now the spotlight turns to the Republicans as we try to get the cabinet through, as we try to get President Trump's selections through. We had that tweet yesterday, that little warning about maybe what's going on at the NSC and personnel and what's going on. And there's still a couple picks out here that we're not all that happy with. But the broader point I was thinking about today is that when is the direction going to, by the way, speaking of the direction that Speaker Johnson's going, When is that going to start including like actual legitimate changes to how Republicans have done stuff? Like, how are we going to treat primaries? How are we going to treat candidates? How are we going to treat how we're bringing bills to the floor? Are we going to get any of that direction from Speaker Johnson? Because if it's just going to be the status quo, and I heard Tim Burchett on with, I believe, Grant Stinchfield right before us saying, I think we probably got about 100 and 150 days to really get this thing through, because after that, I suspect everybody's going to want to go back to their big spending habits, big money. I want to get this for that and this for this. And it's going to be back to grand old Washington in the way it works. And that's what we have to avoid. People want change. Look at the election. Look at the elections not only here. Look at the elections all over the world. The parties who were in charge all lost ground. The people want change. They don't want the status quo. They don't want Republicans going back to the same old way that we've done this. We don't want to continue our same approach to primaries. We don't want to continue our same approach to whether it could become spending or anything else. They want change. We ran on that change and we won. Now the question is, can this party actually implement enduring change, lasting victories? Not just, as I always say, are more interested in the show, grab the pom-poms, yay, look at us, and no outcomes. We want outcomes. And that's what I was thinking about today. And as this, and literally as I'm jotting down notes and thinking about this, I see this tweet out. I think it was from one of Bannon's people, saying that already they're on a little bit of kind of like watch, because Chuck Grassley's saying, well, maybe Pam Bondi, the hearing for Pam Bondi might be a little delayed. Excuse me?
Delayed? For what?
Because the FBI background check is still going on.
Really? They need to back. She's been attorney general for 2 terms in Florida. Everybody knows who the hell she is. What are they looking for?
I'm just telling you what I saw.
What are they trying to create?
Maybe it was Grace Chong. Check Grace Chong's feed on Twitter. I'm pretty sure maybe it was her. And she said, well, that would mean by the time they have the hearings, by the time this gets done, they're going to have her in office by what, March? Really? So again, the spotlight comes back to the Republicans. I know everybody wants to focus right now on whether we're going to, what's going to happen in Canada and whether we're buying Greenland. But I wish the Republicans could focus on actually what is the plan, what is going to deliver actual change, how are we going to get there? Instead of, I really like the direction Speaker Johnson's going because he told us we're going to work late hours. Really? I hope we're going to get more serious than that. So I don't know. Those are some of the things I was thinking about, because this party is going to be in the spotlight again. And then I see Tim Burchett up there. And I just for once, this party needs to focus on governance, both in terms of what we're doing at the state level, what we're doing at the federal level, what the president can do through executive order. Legislatively, what we do, it cannot be the same as we've always done. And if we're not going to make wholesale changes, then what are we doing?
Yeah, I think what needs to also change is, once you do an executive order, you've got to move to make that a policy and get that enshrined by Congress, because they can undo executive orders like that. We saw it happen already. There needs to be a move to say, okay, how do we solidify this, make this a law? And I think they have to go through and start following through on that stuff. Because you can direct the government to do this, that, and the other thing. The next people that come in, if it's not your people, if it's not your party, all they're going to do is change it. And where does that get us? It puts us where we are today, where we were going great in 2020. Look at the disaster we're walking into today, or the administration is walking into today. We're going to have to fight through to get the drilling rights back. We're going to have to deal with the inflation that's been on the rise again. You're dealing with the insane border situation. You're dealing with all these scumbags that are now infested in the government. Now they're ingrained. They're like ticks in the government. They have to be all rooted out. I know you were talking about that. You read that article yesterday about all these people. About half of them are going to stay, and the other half are going to go. And part of that, to me, I was thinking about that today. I'm like, part of that makes sense. Because you don't want the government to just kind of grind to a halt, so you can keep it going. Get your people in there, they learn what's going on, and then you get rid of the other half. If that's what happens in the next 6 months, I'm fine with that. But you do have to. You need a clean house. You got to clean it up. You got to go top to bottom, spick and span. Wipe these people out. Wipe out the ideology, the garbage, the nonsense. Just get them out because they are the problem. I don't care if they're unemployed. Let them figure it out. Figure out how to actually put that women's study in Africa degree to work in the real world. Good luck.
The other thing I would really encourage the Republican Party to do is stop focusing on problems that are only problems deemed by the left. And this is something I think we do way too often, and we're already doing it. We've done it on the debt ceiling. Whoa, we're gonna tackle that. Everybody's wanted to tackle that for a long time. We're gonna tackle. Well, no, the left wants to tackle that. We don't. We want less. We don't want to keep raising it. They want to keep raising it. The other one that scares me is you keep hearing the president say, well, no, I'm going to tackle the dreamers because everybody's wanted to tackle that for a real long time. No, the left has wanted to tackle that for a real long time. Not us. Let's not focus on problems that are problems only deemed because the left says they're problems. Like, let's focus on what we ran on and what we won on, what you won on. Dreamers and more immigration is not it. You ran on the opposite of that. So we don't need to focus on problems that the left deems as problems. Let's focus on the problems that we deem problems. All right, 13 past the hour, just getting started. News and sports, all coming up live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in on a Tuesday night. If you're on social media, hang with us. All right, chat. We're live in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Let me see here. Go back a little bit. Damon is stupidly forgetting the problems rhinos will cause.
Oh, Damon.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
That guy says, Damon, you have super chats from last night.
Super chats from last night?
Yeah, I did you miss a few?
I didn't see not a one.
There was definitely one. I missed it too, but somebody said there was one in there.
Slick looks great.
Pulling our leg. Thank you. Yeah, H&H in the YouTube chat says he just tunes in, or she just tunes in to see what I'm wearing every night.
Racing Banshee, hello. Thank you very much for your comment. Hello, Carol on Facebook. Farmer Brook, what's up, my friend?
Farmer Brook, my man.
Farmer Brook, my man. What's up, Clint Leggett?
He's in about 5 chats, Farmer Brook. You know, he works the chat.
Well, he's
circuit.
like the mayor.
He is like the mayor of 6B.
He's the mayor of the 6B chats.
He is.
Does he pay equal time to all of them is really the question. Is anyone getting shortchanged by the farmer?
Exactly. Sounds like a bunch of crop.
How about that question?
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on. Hello, D. Lavaca on X. D. Hello.
Say that.
Janice on Facebook.
I'll take 2 on the rocks.
I thought it said La Cava, but then I looked twice and I was wrong. It's not La Cava. Lavaca, I believe.
La Cabo Wabo.
Cabo Wabo. College grad failure. What's up on X? Joanne of Ohio on X. What's going on? Damon, is it true Elon watches the chat? Dave, I would think not.
I don't know. He did retweet something we talked about yesterday. Believe it or not.
I'm sorry?
He did. I'm telling you.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat.
He
what?
retwixted something we did yesterday. And I just mean the topic, which kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, whoa, isn't this exactly what we were talking about? Let me see if I can find it.
How does Damon not
here it
get
is.
that rhino swill cause problem S?
It's the clip of Pierre Polidor in Canada eating the apple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he retwixted it like...
Well, he could have done that for any reason, not because we talked about it.
Well, it was 18 hours ago, like just after we did it.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in. All across the country, wherever you are, we appreciate you being a part of the LFS6B family. Make sure you visit us on all of our social media at LFS6B on pretty much everything: Facebook, X, Rumble, YouTube, Getter, Kick, Instagram, LFS6B Show on Instagram. That one's a little different. And make sure you follow Real America's Voice as well at Real AM Voice. Real AM Voice. Follow them on all their socials as well. Hello to all of our friends in the chat who we're with during the breaks. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Let's do some sports right now. Sports, we talked about the odds. Big odds makers coming up Friday. Big D's all in on the odds makers. I'm going at this for real picking, real games. And no friendship here. I'm going after Slick, and I'm going after Aaron to be top dog at the end of this weekend with my record that could be 5-0. I'd settle for 4-1. I will accept nothing less than a winning week at 3-2.
If you go 5-0, I'm going to fly you across the room. Be on the show.
You see that sphere over there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't.
Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell.
Keep droning on and on about that.
MyPillow, LFS6B is the code to use if you shop at MyPillow. LFS6B is your promo code at checkout. It'll give you a great savings. Slickster, what's going on in sports?
Well, we got to start paying attention to the NCAA men's basketball, Big D. Keep track of those scores because before you know it, it'll be March Madness. I know it's only January 7th. But
Man, I'll tell you, I don't know. I've been watching Cooper Flagg, and I know everybody says, oh, he's this, he's that, too much hype. He can't live up to the hype. I don't know how you can live up to the hype any more than that kid has lived up to it in the circumstance he's in at Duke as a freshman. I mean, the kid is the real deal, man.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, speaking of the real deal, we got a major upset developing in the NCAA men's basketball. Number 8 Florida right now leading number 1 Tennessee 43-18 with 16 minutes to go in the second half. Tennessee must be shooting 0 for October over there because I don't know what's going on. Duke, number 4 over Pitt 43-30, 15 to go there in the second half. Also, second half, Louisville over Clemson 51-42. Kentucky, number 6 Kentucky, right now trailing Georgia 51-40, 15 to go there in the second half. West Virginia trails Arizona 48-43. Iowa State, you know the great state of Iowa, Rick. Well, they're number 3 right now. They lead Utah early in the game there, 17-14, 11 to go there in the first. Marquette very early on over Georgetown 12-5. That'd be number 7 Marquette. Number 2 Auburn taking on Texas tonight. That's 9 p.m. tip-off over on ESPN2. NHL action. Let's go to the ice. Oilers blanking the Bruins right now. 1-0. 9 minutes to go there in the second period. A little past midway the second period as well. The Red Wings, Kevin will be happy. They're up 1-0 over the Senators. Rangers in the Garden, Rick, taking on the Dallas Stars, up 3-2, 13 to go in the second. Rangers need to start their winning ways, too. They got to get going.
They're a mess.
Well, not as bad as the Islanders.
What happened?
Islanders are in last place now. Blue Jackets and Penguins tied at 1, 8 to go there in the second. The Lightning blanking the Hurricane, 1-0, 13 there in the second. End of 1. Flyers 1-0 over the Maple Leafs in Philly. When the Wild are up 2-0 over the Blues. That's 14 to go there. And we have the Predators and Jets, no score, just underway there in the first period. Flames and Ducks tip off at 10, and then puck drop, I should say, at 10 p.m. And then we have a 10:30 puck drop out in San Jose where the Sharks are hosting the Golden Knights of Vegas. NBA action real quick. Hornets 59-46 over the Suns at the half. Good one. Rockets 57-55 over the Wizards in the Capitol. That's at the half as well. Lakers and Mavs. Mavs are up 38-37 in Dallas. 7 to go there in the second quarter. I'll get to one quick story. I took some time with the scores. Good one, though. UFC head Trump ally Dana White joins Meta board of directors, Big D. Paul Boy of Breitbart. Dana White, CEO of Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, and ally of President-elect Donald Trump, has joined the board of directors for Meta, the parent company of Facebook. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced the inclusion of Dana White in a Facebook post yesterday, hailing his work as an entrepreneur and business leader. Dana is the president and CEO of UFC, and he has built it into one of the most valuable, fastest growing, and most popular sports enterprises in the world. I've admired him as an entrepreneur and his ability to build such a beloved brand, noted Zuckerberg. Boy, he really got to come up and stay Zuckerberg. He's really got a turnaround in that guy, huh? We'll see.
I don't believe any of it for 1 second.
Yeah, a lot of.
We'll see.
He's buttering him up for something, huh, Big D? That's what it sounds like. But as and I noted by NBC News, Zuckerberg has been practicing mixed martial arts in recent years and has attended several UFC events, underscoring his enthusiasm for the combat sport. So in 2023, Zuckerberg tore his ACL. Well, we know that story. But Zuckerberg's inclusion of Dana White comes weeks after the Meta CEO president met with President-elect Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago following his sweeping victory over Vice President Kamala Harris. The dinner also came just months after the tech entrepreneur publicly praised President-elect Trump following the July 13th assassination attempt. So I guess Zuckerberg's trying to get on the good side, but Dana White making his move, so it's good to see. I'm glad he's involved because he did a lot too to help the president get elected, and I think he adds a great dimension. He can connect with the younger people too as well. The audience is like he's very close with Joe Rogan, so I see a lot of good coming out of that with Dana White being involved there. So we'll see. That's a wrap in sports.
All right, Slick, 22 past the hour. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. MyPillow, LFS6B is the promo code to use. I don't understand. Like, I'm looking at comments of people going, Damon, you really got to ease off on Mike Johnson, and you got to. Why is it that we are so willing to always compromise what we believe in? Why is it that people are so willing to continually give more rope, and more rope, and more rope? Take it easy. Congress has only been in for 1 day. Know that they're fine. I don't get that. Like, haven't you seen enough over the last 20 years to know kind of like how things play out? Like, you get a sense as you watch things. It's like anything you do for a long time. You get a sense and you go, I know what's coming here. I know how this is going to play out. Why is it that we as conservatives continually give more rope and are so willing to just always give, especially to these people? Maybe in your personal life it's different, but why do we continue to expect people to be different than what we know they are under 99.9% of the circumstances? Why do we always think this time's going to be different? And if you're willing to speak out about these phonies and say, I don't like what I'm seeing because it looks like the same old ball game, that people still want to say, well, no, you're the one who's wrong. You got to give them more time. You got to give them more patience. You got to give them more rope. You got to give them, no. Why are we doing that?
I think because we're nicer people. Let's face it, the left is filled with a-holes, just a bunch of jerks. Nobody likes liberals. I don't even think liberals like liberals. Like, they hate on each other. If they're not liberal enough, they just destroy each other. Meanwhile, we'd be like, hey, if you're okay with that, that's fine, but that's not where I am. I'm over here. And we don't hate each other for it. That could be part of it. I don't know. I don't know everybody out there. What do I feel about Johnson? Let's see what happens. That's all I'm saying. Let's see what happens. It's been a day. Let's see what happens. If he doesn't pull his weight, then he's got to go. It's as simple as that. But I think part of it is because we're just nicer people overall. It could be as simple as that.
I know, but we're not making dinner plans.
I know.
We're talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, especially with you. You never invite us out.
That's the truth.
We're talking about important stuff here. And it's not just necessarily, I'm not necessarily focusing just on Johnson. I'm focusing on issues and outcomes overall. People are still just so this thing of like, well, no, don't talk down about them, and no, don't point these things out. It's only been this, or it's only been that, or it's this, or there's always some excuse on how to explain it away. Why did you question why he appoints somebody? Oh, it's got to be 4D chess, so it's got to be something else, or it's got to be something else you're not seeing, or I just think this, it's going to be some miraculous thing that you don't know about that's going to come down and save it all. And it's like, what? Why are we operating this way? These people have shown us who they are. Why are we not believing them? 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. News with Delgado coming up.
Oh, not him. He's terrible.
Imagine us. That could be a podcast in itself. Us going out to dinner with Big D. Meals with heels. Forget about it.
Meals what?
Nothing. Forget it.
Because he wears heels.
No, not that. Meals with heels. I mean, just like a bunch of heels going out to eat. Can you imagine like the camera fixed on us? What do you have?
We'd have to invite Harry. Just to see who he'd hit on.
Harry? Harry'd be like, hey, you still seeing that guy?
Where would you like me to take you to dinner, Slick?
Anywhere but Applebee's.
Oh, the Harry's not going.
No, Harry's budget is Applebee's.
Child of the King, super chat. See, this one's right in front of me. I see this one, no problem. I saw none of this yesterday.
You didn't miss that one.
4725, and she likes to pick those numbers for a reason. Damon, some of us have indeed had enough, and we stand with you. We do appreciate what you are saying. Remember, some people would rather go back to sleep and not have to think about the details. You are doing great. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, very nice.
I do find it interesting that so many people are so willing to continue to extend that extra rope. What was it? Slick, where would you want me to take you to dinner?
Yeah, where are we going
not
to dinner?
Applebee's.
Vintage Steakhouse would be very nice, Mr. D.
Vintage?
Yeah.
Where's that?
He knows exactly where it is.
Yeah.
All right. Where is that? Is that in St. James?
That's gonna be 3 Child of the King tips. We love Child of the King, but that's a big one.
How about we go to
How about the nice
Ponderosa?
Outback? How about the nice Outback?
How about the IHOP?
How about we go to Smith and Woes in the city?
I'm not going to the city.
I didn't invite you. I'm talking to Slick.
He said we. You said we.
Right, Aaron? What the hell's he doing?
Yeah, he said we, meaning
we.
us two.
I'm not going. I invited
Let's go,
Slick,
Big
Aaron,
D.
and Fran. I didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't
All right.
look in your direction. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna need a car for that, though. I need a car for that. I ain't getting on. I'm not getting on no subway.
He needs a car. You got to get him a car.
I'm not. Can you imagine me on a subway? I
You
wouldn't last.
want me to get you car service? I'll call Charlie right now. You want car service too?
We should go for a nice steak dinner.
And we'll film it all?
No, that would be funny. Yeah, we could write that off too.
He's way ahead of you on that one, Slick.
He's already written it off.
Yeah, he's already written it up.
Say, Mr. Amorati, we see that you have been at a number of dinners. Oh, yeah, I've been there. Oh, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Come on.
Every
Eric's cracking up in there.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night, January 7th.
people are right. You do pick on me too much.
I mean, it took you this long to figure it out. The people have been on it for a long time.
I know.
Yeah.
I hear about it every night.
I know.
So, well, no, I mean, Delgado, you're invited to dinner.
I'm not going. I don't
Well,
want to
you
go.
just said you won't go to the city, so how are we going to take you?
Yeah, he's got
I
to
got to take my nap.
He's got to take his nap.
I got to blow
Yeah.
my socks.
blow his socks, take his nap,
Right.
do his weed torch. I
Yeah.
mean, non-blowtorch, whatever it's called. What is it called?
It's a weed torch. You got it.
That's it.
Yeah, so he's got things to do. He
got
can't
things
come
to
with
do.
us.
He's got to weed torch his nose hairs.
We're going to do Smith & Woes, I think, Slick, right?
Whoa, okay. Sounds good to
Although
me.
the Hunt and Fish Club in the city, I like that, too.
I don't want no fish. Come on. Take me for a good steak. Something aged.
You get a good steak. The Hunt and Fish Club. It's got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Okay, well, then leave it up to Big D. I
haven't. Believe it or not, and I love the city. I have not been in the city since COVID. Can you believe? I have not.
I know.
I've been invited to a couple of different events. I've not gone into the city.
I think I've been there once. I went in.
Lionel Richie.
I went to the. Yes, which he didn't show up.
Yep.
That's true.
They're still waiting for him.
And then I went to the German restaurant recently for Christmas. Took my German in-laws to the German restaurant there, Ralph's.
That had to be an experience.
Yeah.
Hold the
Well, the fact that we didn't get thrown out was really the bar for.
Your father-in-law?
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Thankfully,
I
no
can't
politics came up or anything like that.
I figured he would have fit right in there.
It was good. I can see why people like to go there, but it was, we're a little spoiled having been to Germany so many times. It's not quite the same.
You didn't get the bratwurst?
How could it be?
Now, the food was good. Food was definitely
good.
good.
The Weisswurst.
But it was not the German feel, like of the whole.
You didn't wear the
There was no
lederhosen?
singing. There was no
Right.
ziggy, zaggy, ziggy, zaggy, oi, oi, oi. There was no. We had to do it. And people, of course, looked at us like we had 9 heads. And it's like, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Right. It was probably like a tourism group from Japan or something.
If you can't sing Ein Prosit at the German restaurant without people looking at you, something's wrong.
Oh, my
it.
goodness.
So-
They're looking at you like these dirtbags from Long Island came in here.
Yeah, well, something. So, all right, 32 past the hour. Let's do some news. There was a lot of news today. If you were with me this morning, or I guess it was this afternoon, he was a little late. President Trump did a press conference, which we were streaming this morning.
Yeah, you want to talk about that first?
Yeah, let's do the news. The news is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, available live from Studio6B.com. Great supplements, vitamins. If you're looking for that kind of stuff, it's available right on the homepage. Delgado's got the news. What's going on?
All right. Well, you mentioned it, so let's just jump into it. President-elect Donald Trump had a news conference this morning at Mar-a-Lago and covered a wide range of different topics, including things about the Gaza hostages, the Panama Canal, Greenland, the Gulf of Mexico being renamed, Canada, you name it. He crossed a lot of different things, took a lot of questions.
What do you think he means when he says, if this deal's not done before Inauguration Day, all hell is going to break loose in the Middle East, is the exact quote.
And that was a quote I thought I sent Fran. Evidently, I sent him the wrong clip, so I apologize. I don't have that to play. But he did get some other stuff done. I don't know. He twisted somebody's arm to get another $20 billion in investment. Did you see that?
Yeah, the guy came up and spoke. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Here is cut number
I love this guy.
He didn't get pressured on the spot to turn it into 40, but the guy did say it could be more.
Right.
I think he knew it was coming.
Yeah,
so
exactly. He knew it was coming.
He kind of got out in front of it.
So here's cut number 5. Here's Trump getting another $20 billion investment into the United States with a chance to make it more. Cut number 5.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's been amazing news for me and my family when he was elected in November. We've been waiting 4 years to increase our investments in U.S. to a very large amount of money. We are a company operating in more than 20 countries around the world. We have delivered more than 45,000 luxury units
try to twist him.
and another 45,000 in the pipeline. In data center, we are in 10 countries around the world, in Asia, Europe, and Middle East. And we're very, very excited now with his leadership and his open strategy and policy to encourage businesses to come to U.S. For the last 4 years, we've been waiting for this moment. And we're planning to invest $20 billion and even more than that if the opportunity in the market allow us. But at the moment, we're planning $20 billion in data center, catering for the AI and cloud business for the
Aaron, that's good.
hyperscalers.
We got the idea there.
And again, he, of course, He missed the opportunity to probably twist his arm a little bit, give him a little noogie, and get another $20 billion out of him.
Give him the noogie rub.
like he did last time. But he also covered a wide-ranging amount of different things, including the sentencing that was set for this Friday, Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigation. He called the judge's decision to block Smith's final report great news, and he's looking at the possibility of pardoning January 6 rioters. He also talked about, of course, the Panama Canal. But he also mentioned this in terms of, he talked about Greenland. He mentioned this about the Gulf of Mexico. This is cut number 3. And, I don't know if you're like me, but between Canada, Greenland, and now the Gulf of, Mexico, is he trolling just a little bit? I don't know. Check this out. Here's cut 3.
We're going to be, changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate.
It is.
It's appropriate.
So he mentions that.
He's right.
And then, of course...
I mean, on the Greenland and Canada thing,
Yeah.
I mean, if we really... I mean, I don't know who we think is going to sell Greenland to us. I mean, Greenland is about 80% liberal, left of our liberal, and I think 20% so-called conservative, which is probably not that conservative. And in Canada, if Canada became the 51st state, I think we would be immediately importing about how many people live there?
I don't know.
Whatever the number is, 80% of them would be voting for the left, and the conservative part is to the left of our Republicans. By the way, just to let you know. So
we'll see about that. But Dana Bash was a little shocked about everything that was covered in the press conference. Here she is, cut number 6, left in shock after Trump's news conference, and listen to the things she talks about.
Some new information about what he intends to do, or at the very least is not ruling out when he takes office, including not ruling out a military invasion to conquer Greenland, the Panama Canal, and perhaps the annexation of the country of Canada.
I think that's the reason that all this is like hot discussion, just because we can get that kind of reaction.
Yes. I think a lot of it is he's doing to them what they constantly do to us, the left.
40 million in Canada, someone said. Probably 35 of them would be immediate Democrat voters, and the ones who are so-called conservative are probably to the left of our Republicans, and that tells you how squishy they would be.
Right. I don't know about Greenland, though. It could be a little bit more conservative, especially if you listen to this guy. This is cut number 7. Here's a Greenlander who's got a specific message for President Trump on his thoughts about Greenland. Here it is, cut 7.
So, if you could tell Trump anything, what would it be?
Buy us.
Buy Greenland?
Buy Greenland.
Why do you want Trump to buy Greenland?
Because we don't want to be colonized by Danish government anymore. We get ripped every year about our minerals from Greenland. We are the richest nation in the world, and we don't get to use it. Denmark's using us too much.
Do you like America?
I love America, but people are too fat over there.
I don't know what the hell he just said, but there you have it.
I mean, Greenland, they've only got like, what, 50, 60, 100,000 people who live there, supposedly?
I have no idea.
That's
and they have
it?
like a parliament, I believe, right? And the parliament's like 80% raging lib.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But they are ruled by, they're under Denmark. They're a property of Denmark.
They're not selling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
exactly.
So there you have that. And I don't know if he's... this was a story that was kind of all over the place for us, and not sure if you saw it, Damon. But this girl from Long Island who went missing about 3 weeks ago.
I saw that.
4
Found
weeks
on
ago.
this boat, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Found just the other day, missing Long Island teen, 14. Emma-Ray Gervasi found in a boat nearly a month after disappearing. This story from the New York Post: Long Island teen who vanished when she got into an unknown car outside of her home. She was found safe aboard a boat only about 13 miles away from her family's residence after a nearly month-long search. Emma-Ray Gervasi family feared the 14-year-old was being held against her will when she disappeared from the Patchogue home at about 5 p.m. December 9th. She was last seen walking out out of her house with a jacket and getting into a stranger's car. And then, of course, she went missing. She'd been missing this whole time up until she was found safe in the town of Islip on a boat. Security cameras captured her knocking on doors at a Bohemian motel, believe it or not, the next day, but then she disappeared again. She was found Friday on a boat in a marina near White Catfish Market in the town of Islip. Again, that's located on Long Island. I don't know if you've had a chance to see any of the video on this. Here is the missing Long Island girl's father. He was the one who led the charge and actually found her first. Cut number 4. Check this out.
He has been just looking for her nonstop. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't eat. I know how that feels.
It's horrible. It's scary. Your mind never stops. There's never any rest. And, there's no closure right now.
Yeah. And that was before they found her. Here's a picture of Frank Gervasi. He's the father of the girl. I'm sorry, but if this guy comes looking for you, you give him whatever the hell he wants, especially his child. I gotta hand it to this guy. That was the.
But what's the story?
There was an arrest made, though.
Oh, there was.
Right, there was an arrest made. He found the boat, barged on, and he got a tip. A woman contacted him via the internet. She was afraid to confront the person on the boat, so she just reached out to him via the internet, got him the tip. He came over and found his daughter, and then the police arrived shortly thereafter. I'm surprised the police had anybody to arrest, if I would be honest. He said his daughter was experienced things no girl should ever experience. Yeah. She was sex trafficked. He also sent out a message saying, "I found Emma. Please give me some time, and then I will address the public in a few days. Prayers are answered." And again, that's coming from the girl's father, Frank, who, this guy didn't give up. And those two people speaking about him and what he was going through. That was Gabby Petito's parents. Remember the girl that got murdered in Colorado?
Yeah, I knew the mom.
So what is the story, that she actually was kidnapped, or she knew this person and went? What's the actual story?
Supposedly it was somebody she was talking to online, got into the car, and that was the last they saw of her.
Yeah, because the guy they arrested was in his 60s, right?
65-year-old
guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez.
But her father, Frank, pleaded with help on social media, searched for leads into his daughter's appearance, himself driving all around Long Island trying to find her. And he was able to track her down thanks to the help of some people with keen eyes getting him the tip.
Well, good for them and good for him.
Amen.
All right, live from Studio 6B, a little more sports, more news coming up, and we'll wrap hour 1 right after this.
Leftover for pizza and beer.
I'm going to look it up right now.
You got to look it up. It's cute what he said.
I don't see it.
Yeah, that guy.
Why is it? I don't see it. Oh, okay, there it is.
You have it? I have it too.
That guy.
Yep.
On YouTube, $50 super chat. Thank you so much. Damon, here's a 50 spot for a case of tissues for when Slick and Aaron smoke you on your Friday picks. Use the leftover for some pizza and beer.
Aha. We're going to have to rename you Farmer Damon.
Ooh. Oh.
Well, see, I'm in a quagmire here because I want to be thankful for the support from our audience.
Can I buy a vowel?
You know what? We can be thankful. Thank you.
But I also want to tell that guy that you're not that guy. I'm going to be that guy this weekend.
Did you say that?
Crying.
Oh.
No, I'm not going to be crying, Delgado. So you're wrong, and I will not be using your $50 for tissues. I'll be using it to buy a bottle of champagne, which I'll be popping here in Slick's face.
Aha! I think he'll be using it
Monday
on a box of adult diapers.
Oh, no, I'm going to put some time into this picks.
After he goes 0-5, he's going to crap his pants.
That all depends.
I'll take that $50 super chat, Slick, and I'll put it up. My record against yours. Whoever wins can have the 50. How about that there, Big Talk?
Oh!
I'll take whatever the super chats come in tonight.
Man.
How about between
You're
now
going
and
to
Friday?
owe me your whole YouTube bank account by the end of this month.
How about that?
Come on.
Oh, I don't hear. Hear. Is that an agreement? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, if I had your record, I wouldn't agree to that either.
I don't need your money.
Uh-huh.
Come on, Big D. Let's go. We got enough on the line. Trust me. Handicapped. Oh, boy.
Yeah, we can't, by the way. Yeah, Aaron, we got to.
Yeah, let me know if I'm sending you.
Especially when there's a clean pool feed. We either got to take Ravs or the clean. We can't.
On that Tennessee's got a big upset. That game's over. 58 to 27. I mean, Tennessee must be missing the whole team.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. I wanted to get to this yesterday. Tim Burchett wrote a letter to President Donald Trump, and President Trump actually addressed it. I believe, I couldn't see the shot of the reporters, but I believe it was our own Brian Glenn who maybe brought this up today. I can't say that for sure, but I wanted to get to this yesterday anyways, because President Trump got this letter from Tim Burchett, and he wrote, "Congratulations on your decisive victory on November 5th, 2024. East Tennesseans cannot wait to have strong leadership in the White House again. I write to express my strong concerns with foreign aid being funneled to the Taliban and my desire to work with your administration to stop tax dollars from going to terrorists. During the 118th Congress, it was brought to my attention the U.S. State Department under the Biden administration was funneling money to the Taliban. In fact, when I questioned Secretary Antony Blinken about this, he admitted that non-governmental organizations paid nearly $10 million of foreign aid to the Taliban in taxes. The larger issue, which Secretary Blinken failed to acknowledge, is the shipments of cash payments in United States dollars to Afghanistan's central bank. These cash shipments are auctioned off, and after that, they are nearly impossible to track. This is how the Taliban is being funded and plans to fund terrorism around the world. In 2023, I introduced a bill requiring the State Department to discourage foreign countries from providing financial or material support to the Taliban and to report on direct cash assistance programs and Taliban influence over Afghanistan's central bank. My bill passed the U.S. House of Representatives unanimously. Unfortunately, then Majority Leader Chuck Schumer refused to bring the bill to a vote in the Senate. I plan to reintroduce this legislation in the 119th Congress and would gladly welcome your support. The United States of America should not be funding its enemies abroad. I implore you to take action to put an end to wasteful foreign aid spending and to support efforts in Congress to put Americans first. I look forward to working with you during your second term as president." How many people honestly knew that this was going on? I would say not many.
Yeah, we found out last year though when he introduced the bill. I remember a lot of people talking about it. I think we even reported the story. It is amazing though that it hasn't gotten more attention because we are basically funding our own demise. But that's something I think the left wants us to do.
And of course, it kind of became more. It kind of came back in the news again because Tim Burchett's been on Sean Ryan's podcast, and of course, Sean Ryan has been talking about this incessantly, trying to figure out why the hell we're doing it. And how can nobody seemingly care that we're funding our own? I think he uses the exact same words you just did. We're funding our own demise.
Well, I think the CIA created the Taliban, and ISIS is an Obama product. So that's why they get money, because we created these things. It's kind of, everybody kind of knows by now. They just don't like to talk about it.
And speaking of that, the FBI gave an update. I believe this is from today. Maybe it was from yesterday, but it's fairly recent because Sean Ryan's been under a lot of heat for this. A lot of people taking shots on where the truth really lies. Is he totally full of it? Is he totally accurate? Where do you fall if you've listened to that interview? Well, the FBI, one thing we know for sure that people who have been taking shots at him are completely wrong about is the fact that that email that started this whole thing, at least as far as that interview that he gave, was absolutely legit. And it did go to this guy. And as I said, everybody can have their own opinion on that interview, but that guy he interviewed, to me, came across as pretty credible. From the fact that the way he set it up, the way he said, listen, I don't usually like even going onto social media with things I can't 100% prove. Well, so people have been taking shots at the email's fake, the whole thing, this, that, the way it looked, the cursor, the red line. Of course, they tried to explain why it looked like that. Well, here's the FBI in Las Vegas with an update today. I encourage you to pay attention to the very last sentence that he gives in this quick 1:08 clip. Here it is. Well, I have the audio up. I don't know. All right. No audio. Still no audio? All right. Well, let's let me reset this and see if this works. But this is the clip from today.
Of a question about the validity of what Leifelsberger put out to the public, either in the two-page manifesto or additional documentation we're discovering. We're not speaking to the content. I can say, as Sheriff Corrin described and others, it runs the gamut. I mean, he's talking about feeling that he was, surveilled, guilt. You can tell there's, some anguish there, some frustration with the government. I mean, there's a whole host of things. So we haven't gotten into, what's legitimate, what's not. The only thing that, out of an abundance of caution, in as much as there's Department of Defense equities that speak to sources and methods or something else that would endanger folks overseas, that's not being released. But beyond that, we haven't vetted any of his writings to determine, what's legitimate and what was in his own head.
Including whatever happened in 2019?
Yeah, including, he alleges a variety of things, and we haven't gotten into the weeds on any of that.
That podcast email is him.
Yeah, so we have confirmed that the document that he sent to the podcast, we know that he was the one that sent that document. That's correct.
Okay, so there you go.
All right.
So we at least know that.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
It's the FBI. They haven't really been the most upstanding and truthful entity in the federal government over the last few years.
I understand. No, I get that. But wouldn't you think they would go the opposite way, though, if they were going to be the way they've been the last few years? They would try to deny that it was. Why would they confirm if they were trying to be whatever you're trying to describe? Wouldn't it be the actual opposite that would make you go, yeah, I don't think so?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions on this. A whole lot of questions. So.
Well, what are your questions in relation to that clip?
That they're being truthful? We don't know if they're being truthful. I mean, you could see things for your own self, like the attack in New Orleans, and know that was a terrorist attack, and they came out and said, no, it's not.
No, I'm with you, Dugout. I'm not arguing. What I'm saying is, why would they, though, if they were going to do the things that we're all now trained to not believe them, wouldn't they go the opposite way here with this? Why confirm it? Why would they lie about confirming it?
Maybe because it fits the narrative of getting everybody to focus on, look at all this crazy stuff here. Maybe it wasn't all that, maybe it wasn't what the email says. You know what I mean? Maybe they want you to look in that direction. Oh, well, if it's confirmed, then we can go with this. And then all of a sudden, that's the narrative. That's what the news will cover. That's what the news will sell us.
So basically, meaning don't believe the whole thing about the drones and propulsion, whatever, in China. So
yeah, because again, what did we find out once they started really looking at that email? The first line about his verification was wrong. So everything after it has to be wrong, or at least questioned. Because if you're going to lie about something as simple as look at the first car I ever owned, and you can't even get that right, did you do that on purpose, or was that because somebody truly didn't know, or they looked at something quick and got 2006 mixed up with 2008 and BMW mixed up with Mustang?
So it's like a double reverse kind of don't believe them. Confirm
right
the email, even though we all know the email's all wrong. So it's like a double reverse not trust this thing.
Unless Livelsberger comes out and tells us this is exactly what he meant. Okay. I wouldn't believe the FBI, at least that.
All right, hour 2 coming up live from Studio 6B. More sports with Slick. News with Delgado right after this.
Oh, the joy. The haircut and everything. Wow.
It's awesome. My feet are freezing right now.
Yeah, you better go warm up your socks there.
Why don't you go to the bathroom and blow your socks in the heater there?
He's going to make sure you flush.
Yeah.
Oh, got him. Oh, man. Oof. Come on.
Sergeant Arb says Delgado's making my brain hurt. Welcome to the club. Welcome to me and Slick every night.
Yeah.
I mean, all the FBI did there was just confirm that it came from his email account. That's it.
Oh, so you have a theory too?
Well, someone else could have been logged into his email.
Oh,
that's true. Frank could be right. Could have been a setup.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been the housemaid or something. You know.
It could be all true. It could be all BS. We'd have no way of knowing.
Someone stole his password. You don't know.
Okay,
that happens. Going on in the chat with 1 minute to go. What do we got? Come out.
Big D used the super chat to buy Delgado a space heater.
What are you talking about? He's in space all the time. Space heater.
Aaron has a space heater. Oh, it's so nice in her office when I walk in there. I want to stay in there usually.
That's the only heat we have in the office.
Damon toasts his English muffins in there.
God, I love our bathroom. So warm.
Yeah, our bathroom is like a sauna.
Oh,
you kidding me? Delgado sits in there after the show.
Delgado asked for a camera and mic to be brought in there yesterday.
Delgado sits there. I said, Delgado, you should have did that before the show, so I didn't know you were so FOS.
The chair is perfect, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful.
Dave Syverson on X is going to do the reads today.
Nice contour to it.
I never use that hand blower.
On the day you only have one?
I only got one?
Yeah.
No, he can't do it then today. I'll do it. I need one when we have like 6. Dave's going to do them.
When do we have a what even
on
is
X.
that?
Friday.
Yeah, I thought we retired that with Crazy Town. Oh.
Retired what?
What even is that?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow there's a what even is that?
No.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, you just have to be us, what you said.
Big D can be funny sometimes. 9 p.m. on the East Coast, hour 2. Live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's going to do some sports. Delgado's going to do some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Harry on the highway down in D.C. Yep, Harry on the highways in D.C. Getting his week prep before the inauguration. Of course, inauguration coverage right here on Real America's Voice. We'll have it covered wire to wire for you. 2 weeks from yesterday, January 20th. Any updates on this January 19th rally that he wants to do?
Nothing that I've seen.
I didn't hear every question and answer. Did that come up today in the answers?
I didn't
Questions?
see every question and answer either.
Has anyone been able to come up with a reason why this would, for any reason, be necessary to do? And I guess the fact that it's inside is a little more comforting, but I mean, I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Hey, John Fetterman was on Brett Baer tonight, and I guess I haven't seen this clip yet. I just saw the writing on it. They, I guess, we're talking about the cabinet appointments. Here's Fetterman on Brett Baer tonight.
Senator Fetterman, you've met with a number of nominees already. You've suggested...
just did one of your former colleagues here just about 3 hours ago.
Is that right?
Sean Duffy, actually.
Oh, Sean Duffy.
Yeah.
Senator Warner, the chair of the, co-chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, met with Tulsi Gabbard. He said he had a session with Ms. Gabbard. He went on with a lot of questions. He's still got a lot of questions, and that we have to do a process, a beginning of a process, suggesting that there's a long way to go. Is this Tulsi Gabbard one of the nominees that you could vote for?
Well, I met with her. In fact, I think I've met with virtually all of them, and the ones that I haven't, they're on my schedule, RFK and Governor Noem. So I'm happy to meet with all of them. And that's also part of this. I don't know why that was controversial. I mean, I got a lot of blowback just, even to meet with them. And to me, I see that as just doing my job. And I'm going to have a conversation with anyone that would like to have a conversation with me. And if someone believed everything that's been written or said about me was true, I mean, you can't possibly know me, or I think I could know her either, just based on someone read. But I want to sit down and have a conversation, and I'm really glad that I've done that. And some of these nominees I'm going to vote for already. In fact, whether it's our colleague Rubio, our Representative Stefanik, or even Sean Duffy, I expect to vote for him as well too, and Brooke Rollins for agriculture. Again, so there's a lot of them I can say right now here on Fox. I'm going to vote for them. But there's others, but that we're going to go through the process. But I'm open to hear from everyone, and I don't know why that's controversial. And I also would like to remind everyone on the Democratic side, that's the way democracy works. Trump won, and now they're going to run the table, and so they get to pick those kinds of people. And if you don't have to agree with all of it, but I want to find a way to work together on a bunch of them.
And I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean. Seems like a lot of common sense right there. I mean, all Trump talks about is we're the party of common sense. That guy seems to fit a lot more with the common sense party than what the rest of his party sounds like. I mean, at least some of the time. And he seems to be doing a lot better, health-wise, by the way.
Yeah, he seems to have common attire to you, too, as well.
Yeah, well, that's the in thing. I mean, if you're cool
the Big D collection.
If you're cool enough to pull off the Big D collection, then that's what you do. So, where are my royalties, by the way?
Yeah, right, exactly. He's copying.
He's wearing Damonique.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, what's wrong with that clip? What's wrong with
There's
that?
nothing wrong with that clip.
No.
I'm surprised he even admitted by name who he's going to vote for so far.
Now,
based on after their meetings.
And by the way, have we been pronouncing Elise's last name wrong all these years? And we're the ones who are wrong?
I don't know. What's her last name?
Because he calls her Stefanik too, and Trump calls her that.
Instead of Stefanik?
Is it not Stefanik?
I thought it was always Stefanik.
I don't know.
I wonder if we're the ones who are wrong.
Maybe.
Could be. She never called us to tell us, so.
No, she hasn't been on the show.
Right.
Not a friend of the show.
Of the show.
Nope.
Yeah.
You got a problem with it, let us know.
None of the New York representatives are friends of the show. We can't get any of them to come on, probably because they watch it. But
They've seen it once, and they're like,
Lee Zeldin hasn't been on.
No, Lee hasn't.
I mean, Slick only was on his.
I was on his business advisory board like 8 years.
Still can't get him on.
No.
Stefanik, we can't get on.
I guess he's not taking your advice.
No, not anymore. He said, mind your own business.
Maybe they figure they're not going to get puffball questions all night. But although I don't know, I don't think Lee's really.
Oh, Lee could handle this show.
I mean, come on.
He's good.
5 minutes past the hour. Let's do some sports since I skipped it in the last segment.
Sorry.
Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. My Pillow, LFS6B is the promo code to use. How do you think an interview with me and any of the Republican leadership would go right now? How do you think that would go? I don't think it would go too well. Because I'm not gonna ask them about how many hours they're going to work. And whether we think that's like the big change that's coming. But I don't know. We'll see. Slick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell. What's going on?
All right, big upset brewing in the NCAA men's basketball. I mentioned it earlier. Right now, Florida up 69-41 with only 37 seconds to go in the game. Tennessee has shot a 17.6 from the field. Oof. They've laid more bricks than they used for the Great Wall of China, Big D, in that game. Unbelievable. So that's got number 8 upsetting number 1, the Gators. Big win at home. And another upset, Georgia, 72-59 over number 6, Kentucky. They're feeling that gold Kentucky rain. 4:21 to go there in the half. At the half, also, Iowa State, the great state of Iowa, Rick. You know, we love them. 38-25 over Utah. And Georgetown leading Marquette, 38-29. A little bit of an upset there as well. Marquette right now sitting at number 7 at the half. And Baylor's up 37-25 over Cincinnati. 18 to go there in the second. And Iowa, 34. Nebraska 41 leading that game right now, and there's 17 to go in the second. Plenty of time.
Have you watched Duke play, Slick, this year?
I have not. I have not watched the Duke.
Well, you got to watch. You got to watch them.
You got to watch Kentucky play. I know they're losing right now.
They'll win this game. They'll come back.
They are a well-coached team. Mark Pope is really, really good.
Hard not to like them when you watch them on the sidelines.
Is that your favorite for the March Madness, or too early? Too early.
No. My favorite, of course, is my team, Connecticut.
Oh, yeah, UConn. You're always with the Huskies.
Have they started winning again? I heard were having some problems.
They'll be there. They'll be invited.
No, the only 3 games I think they've lost is the 3 they lost out in Hawaii, which I can't explain it. But
yeah, that was something going on in Hawaii. They were partying too much or something. Had too many
pineapples.
Too many pineapples, too many Hawaiian punches. All right, Oilers up 3-0 over the Bruins. 14 to go there in the third on the ice. Also, Senators 2-1 over the Red Wings. They flipped that game. 17 to go there in the third. All these games actually in the third right now. The Rangers.
Slick, hold on one second. Sure. Sorry to interrupt you again. That guy, $50 super chat. Damon, I'm going to double or nothing. I have faith in Erin. She knows her football.
Wow.
Erin, make the family proud and make Damon regret his words.
That guy is that guy.
He is that guy.
Thank you, that guy.
Oh. Yep.
Thank you, that guy. All right, Slick, go ahead.
All right. I like that. Oh, come on, that guy. Bring it on. Let's go. We're going to have some fun with the odds makers this weekend. Look out. All right, let's go. We're talking about ice hockey, right? So, all right, we're picking up
disaster.
Yeah, I'm sure. Penguins 2-1 over the Blue Jackets. 11 to go there in the third. Lightning beating the Hurricanes 2-1 as well. 20 to go. Well, it's just the start of the third period, I should say there. And the Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies, up. They tied 2-2. Maple Leafs just tied that game. 2 to go there in the second period. Blues sound like the Blues right there, Big D. Over the Wild, 3-2, 17 to go in the second. And the Jets blanking the Predators, 3-0, 16 to go in the second there as well. Well, I'll tell you, this Skip Bayless story is really starting to grow its own head, right? This is Stephen A. Smith breaks silence on Fox Sports sexual harassment suit against former co-host. Not the Skip Bayless I know. This is Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith says he's heartbroken over the sexual harassment allegations against his former co-host, Skip Bayless, and says the charges don't sync with what he knows of Bayless. Nushin Faraji, a hairstylist formerly employed by Fox Sports, if anybody hasn't heard, named former host Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor as defendants in a sexual harassment lawsuit in which she claims Bayless offered her $1.5 million to have sex with him. Faraji accuses Taylor of telling her to get over it after informing her of Bayless's offer and taking part in the alleged sex culture at Fox Sports herself by sleeping with people to advance her career. On Monday's episode of the Stephen A. Smith Show, the professional hot taker expressed shock at the allegations. Eating the same breakfast and lunch every day, Smith continued, his vice is a diet Mountain Dew, and he doesn't socialize with people. That's the guy I know. So imagining him in this kind of position is shocking, to say the least. All I could tell you is it's not the Skip Bayless I know. Smith continued, I don't know her, Smith said of Faraji. I don't know them. I know Skip, and I'm very, very heartbroken that he finds himself in this situation and being accused of these allegations, but I can't be over the airways being irresponsible and attaching truth or guilt to anything that I know nothing about. But he's quick to talk about Trump, though, no problem, right? Yeah. But Faraji also claims to have a voice recording of Bayless pleading with her to have sex with him, which I reported on last night. But this thing continues to go on and on. Shannon Sharp apparently was making Skip his pimp. I had another story. I'm not even going to run it. And I'm not going to run these stories ad nauseum, but it is dominating. True story. It is ad nauseum. This is going on and on, but we'll see where it happens. But Fox in a whole heat of mess there, Big D, huh? With the FS1 Sports. And that's a wrap in sports. Back to you with 2:40 to go.
Okay, Slick, thank you. I can see the clock. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can tell time.
Very good. Well, let's do some news right now, and then we'll do some more when we get back. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, and here with that is Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, I don't know if you saw this, but Chuck Schumer was out there saying that he didn't lie about President Biden and his mental condition.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Here he is talking about it. Cut number 2. Right here. Here's Chuck doing his best to lie, even when confronted with the video of him saying such a thing. Go.
I want to play you a little bit of something you said last year. Take a look.
I talk to President Biden, regularly, sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. Yeah. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's as good as it's been over the years. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
Leader Schumer, what do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
No. Look, we didn't, and let's look at President Biden. He's had an amazing record.
Is that what she's talking about?
The legislation we passed, one of the most significant groups of legislation since since Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, putting in 235 judges.
That's why you need term limits.
And he's a patriot. He's a great
and he's
guy.
a patriot.
He's a patriot.
When he's not mentally deficient. On his own, because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
Yeah, salute him. And you can hang that flag on the knife that you stuck in his back after that debate.
He's a lying fraud. They're all a bunch of lying frauds when it came to Biden.
I pledge allegiance to the United States.
Exactly.
You have 6 reads tonight, too. You're coming up now.
I am done.
This time of year, it's chilly out. Forget it. You needed a coffee before the show. That's what you needed.
Yeah, why don't you get some of those?
I walked in with hot coffee. It was iced coffee by the first segment. It's so cold in here.
That Horton's coffee. Right? What's it called?
Okay,
Tommy
let's
Horton?
see here.
Yeah,
Somebody
Horton.
on X,
Tom
Donita says, Damon, you're all not listening to me. I feel like the little boy saying, Linda, listen, Linda, Linda, listen. January 19th is National Popcorn Day. It's an Eat Popcorn Day and watch what happens.
All right, so
that's reason for him to be doing this. The thing, I guess, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but who dubbed it
National Popcorn
Day? Who did that? Was it Orville Redenbacher?
Yeah, it was Orville Redenbacher.
Damon, we'll take that apology now. Admit defeat from Aaron, that guy on YouTube.
Man, that guy, forget about it.
I like everyone coming to my defense.
Please.
Wonder if somebody's going to grab the screen name Farmer Damon before you have a chance to there, Dave.
Well, no, I will not be farmering my picks, which means 1-4 or 0-5. No.
You still get to do one read here, though.
Ooh.
That sounds like fun.
Delgado's going to do it. I'm going to make a coffee.
No, I can't read.
Well, we know that, but I mean... I like the way you do the reads, Delgado, when I'm not here.
Yeah, he does a nice job, Delgado, on the reads.
I know.
He's like he's made for radio. You know, he's a good reader.
You got reads for radio and a face for radio. So why don't you do them?
Yeah. You can start your own. You can start your own morning show.
I got cold feet for radio. I got to go get warmed up.
I think Damon needs a moaning show, right?
Isn't that what I do here for 2 hours?
Yeah, it's true. You just do it at night. You confuse the poor people.
Come on, Slick.
Oh, come on. What do we got? Oh, man, I got to start working on my picks tomorrow morning with this kind of challenge here. Oh, man. I think we should invite that guy on the show. Let him make some picks, Aaron. What do you think?
Back in 10.
Get him in.
Well, it sounds like the blues. 17 past the hour. Let me talk to you about the Wellness Company. It's a new day in America and a new administration in Washington, D.C. There is a lot of excitement and optimism about the future, but the reality is there is a lot of work to do, especially when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. The truth is that the forces that are responsible for breaking our healthcare system aren't going to simply go away. The challenges our system faces won't disappear overnight. Now more than ever, you need to be prepared. And of course, that's where the Wellness Company comes in. Their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their line of prescription medical kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy, whether it's the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, or the travel kit. These prescription kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of all the medications. From the flu to strep throat, from COVID to bird flu, from a trip to the beach to a trip overseas, the Wellness Company has a prescription kit designed to keep you and your family safe. Make America healthy again starts at home. Do your part and protect the health of yourself and of your family. Go to www.twc.health/voice, twc.health/voice today in order. That's www.twc.health/voice. Use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. All right, 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We were doing the news, I believe, last segment. We'll start the news again. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, and here with the news is Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, I know Slick was talking about the addition of Dana White to the board of Meta, also known as Facebook. Earlier in the show, had a couple of stories related to this as well. Mark Zuckerberg, according to Axios, I don't know if you saw this from Axios, a very right-leaning publication, moved further in the direction of MAGA on Monday when he appointed three, kind of like us, three white men, including Dana White.
Who's reporting it like this? Axios?
Axios.
This is their wording?
This is their wording.
This is what they picked up on?
This is what they picked up on.
They're all white. Okay.
He appointed three white men, including UFC chief executive and Trump friend Dana White, to the board of the directors of Meta. Why it matters, it says, because we're a long way from 2022 when Peter Thiel resigned from the same board in order to support Trump-aligned candidates. In terms of corporate control, of course, only one vote matters. That's the Class B, blah, blah, blah. Between the lines, 7 of the 10 men, believe it or not, that are now on the board are also billionaires. White may not have reached $1 billion mark quite yet. I think he did, actually. But he's well on his way. The reinvention of Facebook can be seen as a departure of the liberal Democrat led Nick Clegg as the company policy head, and his replacement by prominent Republican Joel Kaplan. It can also be seen in the $1 million that Meta donated to the Trump inauguration fund. A donation made by many other tech companies. The bottom line is, as Axios reported, the fate of big tech over the next 4 years depends on who has Trump's critical ear at critical juncture, and Zuckerberg seems to be doing everything that he can to ensure that Meta is in exactly that position. But the one thing that they picked up on, of course, is the three white guys. They're adding three white guys to a company. That's something you should be knowledgeable of.
I mean, I can't imagine anyone surprised that they're all billionaires. I mean, how do you think you're going to get on the? You think you get on the Meta board and not be a billionaire? I mean, because you're probably the head of some other company. Of course, you're going to be. Dana White definitely is. I mean, I don't know if the.
Yeah, I think he is.
Given what he made from the $4 billion sale of UFC, and given what his stock options in the new UFC are probably worth, it's probably easily well over that.
Right. Also related to Meta and Facebook, the fact-checking firm staffed by CNN alumni, they're all going unemployed, as a matter of fact. The prominent fact-checking organization used by Facebook to moderate political content reacted to the news that it will revamp its fact-checking to better avoid bias, with an article outlining its disappointment and disagreement with the news. Lead Stories was surprised and disappointed to first learn through media reports and a press release about the end of their Meta deal, the third-party fact-checking partnership, which Lead Stories has been a part of since 2019. Lead Stories editor Martine Schenk wrote on Tuesday in response, said Lead Stories, a Facebook fact-checker employing several former CNN alumni, including Alan Duke and Ed Payne, people you don't know, has become one of the more prominent fact-checkers used by Facebook, and they're very disappointed that now being replaced. And Facebook is basically going with a X/Twitter like community notes type of fact-checking, which they'll be employing. So needless to say, a lot of unhappy people on the left, being that they can't control what happens on Facebook. So we'll see what happens. I haven't been posting on Facebook in so long. It's rare when I do, and it's usually something so milquetoasty that it's not even worth mentioning. But we'll see what happens as this change starts to move forward. Meta did say in its announcement that it will move towards that system of moderation that is more in line with community notes at X, which Lead Stories seems to take issue with. They don't have a problem with it.
What's the news with the fire in California, the Pacific Palisades fire? I mean, it really looks like apocalyptic in some of the scenes coming out of there now. This is This is one of those situations where, once again, when you have no forest management and because of all these green policies lead us to these moments, is that what this is? Or
it's part of that, and it's fire season out in California, in Southern California. It's when I lived out there in the LA area, around Christmas time, it was, no big deal. You could sit back and look out your window and watch the San Gabriel Mountains burn like in a line right across. But this is a fast-burning wildfire that broke out.
It's burning 3 football fields every minute. Yeah. That's the length, how fast it's moving.
The fast-burning wildfire broke out in the mountains above the Pacific Palisades amid extreme high winds that we're feeling here on the East Coast as well, threatening more homes, local public schools, and those have been evacuated. The fire broke out in the brush near Paseo Miramar neighborhood above the Palisades Drive and spread quickly from there. One witness told Breitbart that she saw homes and cars burning and that embers had leapt across the canyon to the neighborhood of Marquez Knolls. So it's fast moving. The winds are always the worst part about it, because it just drives the fire and pushes it right across. And of course, those embers, fly everywhere. Residents are forced to pack quickly, leave the area. Some were irate that the LI Unified Public Schools, which required parents to fill out forms before picking up their kids, taking up precious time to evacuate the area. So that's what's happening with the fires happening in Southern California.
And getting back to Fetterman just for 1 second before we move on. Fetterman also said in that interview that he expects and he's pushing the Senate and the Senate Democrats to help pass the Lake and Riley Act that passed the House today. And he said they need 7 Democrats to be able to pass it. And he said if we can't get 7 votes in the Senate to pass the Lake and Riley Act, then that's the reason why we lost. If you're here illegally and you're committing crimes, why any of us would think that that's controversial, that they all need to go, I'll never know.
Yeah.
And of course, 159 Democrats in the House voted against it.
Wow.
Voted against it. Crazy.
Yeah, Fetterman said, for me, just like my friend and colleague in the Senate, it's really just common sense. I'd like to remind everybody that we have hundreds of thousands of migrants here illegally that have been convicted of crimes, and I don't know why, who wants to defend them, allowing them to remain in our nation. And now, if you're here illegal and you're committing crimes and those things, I don't know why anybody thinks it's controversial, but they all need to go.
Yeah.
So
159 Democrats voted against it because, can't be looked at as not supporting illegals in the country. Crazy.
Tell them to thank them online. These 3 people. That's why we did stream. You could thank them.
Moon Pie on YouTube. Delgado, what's going on with the drones?
I don't know.
Nothing.
No.
We haven't heard anything.
They're droning on and on about nothing. Yep. Good old Moon Pie.
I got the hot dog story, though.
Oh, gosh.
I think I'd rather talk about drones.
Yeah, go warm your buns in the bathroom.
You know what? I am cold. My hands are freezing.
Yeah,
I'll probably go in there.
Me too. I think I have RA when I come in here. I can't even move my hands.
I don't think it's that cold.
Well, of course not.
You got that.
You got the Fetterman wrap
right,
there.
You got the.
Well, dress appropriately, boys.
Hey, listen, how can I dress? When am I going to come in here with a fur coat like Joe Namath?
You would definitely pull it off.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll talk about it when I get on, but somebody in the Rumble chat told me that I have to do something tomorrow night because of a very important reason. And it was just shared to me by Ravmod too, but I'll show that when I get to the regular audience.
Oh, my goodness.
This way,
a convoluted way to say nothing.
Well, somebody in the Rumble chat did it, and they can't watch us right now because we only have a few. Well, Rumble's in now. Rumble people watch. I'm not on Rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble. All right, 140. Well, somebody in the Rumble chat, it'd be Jess 426 West. She said, "Slick Rick." I'm paraphrasing real quick. Slick Rick, dress appropriately tomorrow night. Elvis Presley's birthday's tomorrow, so I got to get myself a nice outfit.
Are you going to slick your hair back?
No, I'm not do that. No, but I'm going to
sit on the toilet and eat a cheeseburger.
No, come on, double egg sandwich with extra bacon. No, Elvis the King, man. He would have been, probably 80-something years old. No,
he died on the toilet, right?
He was born in 45.
Eating a cheeseburger?
Well, no.
No, he died of a heart attack. He was in the bathroom, though.
Peanut butter and something.
Peanut butter and bacon, I think. He loved bacon. He ate bacon, he ate like 2 pounds of bacon a day or something. Yeah, so he brought home the bacon, that's for sure, with those records.
I said I want for the money.
Baby. Yeah. You know what his biggest selling single was?
My Gordon Lightfoot impression? What?
25 million records. Guess what his biggest selling single was?
It was My Way.
No. Close.
Well, close is no good.
Well, nope, it's another one.
It was
somebody else's song?
It's now or never. Come hold me tight. That was a good song.
I thought it was Friends in Low Places.
No, it's now or
he
never.
Didn't do a cover of that? No.
Yeah, it's kind of like our careers.
30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Real America's Voice. It wasn't Love Me Tender, James wants to know.
No, it wasn't.
It was
It's Now or Never.
Now or Never.
Yep, Now or Never.
That was his biggest selling single.
25 million records was sold. 25 million. That's what I read the other night. So I'm taking that like
I was going to guess Can't Help Falling in Love. That would have been my guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And its birthday is what, tomorrow?
Yeah, the King, tomorrow.
Okay, very good. And Slick will be dressed as Elvis tomorrow night.
I won't do that. I mean,
he will be singing karaoke on the show.
That is the original swag, that guy. I could never hold a candle to him dressed like that, man, but I'll do my best. Okay. I might bring some sunglasses for Elvis tomorrow night.
Debbie on Facebook says, my daddy took me to see Elvis in OKC the year before Elvis died.
Oh, it would be 76. He died in 77, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he? Did she grab one of the scarves? He was big on
remember that?
Taking a scarf and throw. Here you go, baby.
Oh, I got a scarf. I'll throw that tomorrow night.
Oh, my goodness. You ever see Tom Jones? I love Tom.
Oh, Tom Jones. You kidding me?
Oh,
isn't he a judge on
that
The
guy,
Voice?
He could have opened the Victoria's Secret outlet. That guy, the underwear they threw on his stage. Forget about it.
He can still sing too, by the way.
Oh, you kidding?
Yep.
What's new, Pussycat?
You ever see him live?
Unbelievable.
I saw him at Westbury live in the round.
Westbury Music Fair in the round?
Yeah.
That used to be a great place to see concerts. Now they've made it too like commercially, right? Now it's not. Is it in the round even anymore?
I think so.
I don't think it is.
You know what they called him? The Welshman.
Yeah.
he was from Wales.
There's from Wales.
He was from Wales. He was a whale of a guy.
Still is.
The Welshman. Big D. You could be a...
I know where you're going. Relax over there. 32 past the hour. A couple things I want to just get to quickly here.
Pull that joke real quick.
Molly Hemingway has a piece that kind of builds on what we talked about yesterday with what was going on at the NSC and personnel. She has a headline today over at the Federalist. Anti-Trump DOJ officials prepare attacks on his appointees during election season. The DOJ's troubles are at least partly the result of an inspector general who has completely fallen down on the job of holding the agency accountable. And she brings this to our attention today, even though she wrote it back in May of 2024. She brings it to our attention again today because she says the first firing that Trump should make when he gets into office is the inspector general, Michael Horowitz. And I'm not going to go through this article because, again, it was written almost a year ago, a little more than a year ago. But she brings it back up to make the point of similar to the points the gentleman yesterday who I read was making, saying these are the people that you need to look at.
Right.
That based on what we've seen over the last, specifically, obviously 4 years, but even more recently, maybe the last 2. And Horowitz, I can remember a time thinking Horowitz was doing pretty good.
You know what? I think he tried to straddle both sides of the fence. You know, try to keep both sides happy. And when you do that, nobody's happy. Either do your job right or don't do it at all. Get out of the way. And I think that's what her point is probably regarding that.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see it because she said that she thought that should be the first firing is Horowitz, and I would not have had that on my bingo card.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Dan Bongino said this a bunch. He hasn't said it recently, but I think it's something that still should be applied. Fire 10 people the first day. As soon as the left starts freaking out, fire another 10, fire another 100. Just keep firing and fire because it's the shock and awe of it all. And I think that's what needs to get done. You've got all of these ingrained ticks that are in the government who their ideology is to fight whatever Trump wants. Whatever's good for the country, they don't want to do it because Trump came up with it or one of his people came up with it or that's the policy. They're bent on saying, nope, this is my philosophy and I know what's best for everyone. Those are the types of people that need to go. They're unelected. We don't need them. We've never needed them. They're only there to serve at the pleasure of the president. And guess what? This president is not very pleasured with you people. So maybe you should just, pack your stuff and go now. and save yourself the embarrassment. But if you do want to stick around and make it tough, I'm sure that they can make it very tough for you. And I hope they do. Because, the things that we've had to deal with as a nation since Obama came in, and let's face it, it started way back then and even before that, it's all your fault. You see these NGOs, millions and millions of dollars going to terrorists, building terrorist networks, subsidizing our enemies around the world, trying to knock us down every time you get a chance. Those are the types of people, and I don't care what your pronouns are. I don't care if you're LGBT, B, whatever. I don't give a crap. I don't care if you got kids or don't have kids. Get out, because you're not what we need. You are actually the problem. And I think a lot of them have this inflated, sense of self that think, no, I'm really important. Hey, you're not that important. The fact that they can probably close down half of the government and everything will still run fine means you're not that important. So we need to get rid of these people. And maybe I'm just going, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think I think I'm onto something.
She says the DOJ Inspector General's office is full of Democrat activists. IG activist Deborah Zurwitz has a long track record of absolutely unhinged left-wing politics. Yet she's tasked with investigating Trump officials regarding their COVID nursing home probes. Based on my reporting, if I were Donald Trump, my first firing would be Michael Horowitz, Obama's hand-selected and very crafty IG of the DOJ. So that's Molly Hemingway today.
Fire them all.
Rich Lowry has a piece today over in the New York Post on Biden's shameful drilling ban, that in his kind of throw everything, including the kitchen sink, and see how much damage we can do on our way out the door. And he says energy will be Trump's superpower. And the president spoke a lot about this today, referenced this swath of land that Biden banned new offshore drilling on. Of course, the White House statement put it out. They said this is the most ambitious climate and conservation agenda in our country's history. Ambitious is one word for it. Perverse would be probably a better word for it. And President Trump highlighted this today and said his estimates would be that this large of a mass to drill on would be probably in north of $50 trillion worth of value to the country. And Biden is just trying to basically say, ban it, we can't touch it.
Right.
And Lowry's piece today basically says, number one, how perverse Biden is acting on his way out the door, but basically saying that Trump's superpower is going to be unleashing American energy once again, and certainly reversing this decision on day one. He says, if you're grateful that God gave the U.S. cheap and abundant energy and you want to keep it that way, Biden can't depart soon enough. The offshore ban is an attempt by him in a sad twilight of a sad presidency to impose a policy going forward. It's not a trifling matter. This act affects 625 million acres, a greater area than the Louisiana Purchase, which was clocked in at about 530 million. Biden is exploiting the Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act of 1953. The contention is that the law provides the president a power to ban oil and gas leasing from federal waters without a subsequent president having the power to go back and revoke the prohibition. In other words, unilateral action for me, but not for thee. So just understand what Biden is trying to do here. It is all politics all the time at the expense of the American people. Not that that's any different than what it's been for 4 years, but he's just turning it up that little extra notch on the way out the door,
right,
to really try to stick it to him where he can.
Yeah, I would even say it's Biden. He probably has no clue what they're putting his name on. It's probably all the other embedded ticks that we talked about earlier. That we've known. They came out with the article. The Washington Post admitted, we've been kind of covering up for this guy because he doesn't have his wits about him since day one. They have a team that kind of sets the policy, and he just shows up and he plays his part. He's the puppet. He signs his name. He smells some kids, and he's out the door. Doesn't take any questions. He probably has no clue what he's doing, but that's Joe Biden. I think that's been most of his career. So,
and he says Trump has been building an exemplary energy team to come in and is now in a position to double down on our national strength, which of course is our energy and abundance of it. Trump will work to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act, the green subsidies that are distorting electricity markets, making it easier to build pipelines and associated infrastructure, loosen up permitting restrictions. He talked about that today. Roll back the rules meant to phase out gas-powered cars. He talked about that today. Force electric vehicles on the public. He talked about that, getting rid of that today. The incoming administration should also push back forcefully against the green ideology that Europe has embraced to its detriment. Confident in pushing a commonsensical energy policy, the U.S. is the one that is truly on the right side of history here. America is an oil and gas superpower. It should be unapologetic about it and leverage every last drop for our economic and geopolitical advantage, and I expect President Trump to do exactly that. There's no one better positioned or more suited, by the way, than him to do exactly that. Nobody. Nobody understands it or is positioned better to do it than 47 will be with his team to do exactly that. And hopefully, again, he'll have Congress there to do what they need to do as they look at this Biden ban that he's putting in place and whether it can be reversed by the president himself or whether he needs Congress. And if he does need Congress, then he should enlist Congress to reverse this Biden ban. So,
hey, here's a question. Can the Trump administration, once they take office, go to court and have this all undone? Because, Joe Biden doesn't exactly know what he's doing. His mental acuity. IG Her said, he's in cognitive decline. How does he know what he's signing? How does he understand what he's signing? Could they make that case?
Well, I don't know if they need to. Again, I think the question is going to be what Trump can do executive order-wise. And whatever the minutia is of this thing, whatever I just read, he said the act affects, it's the Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act of 1953. The contention is that the law provides the president a power to ban oil and gas leasing from federal waters without a subsequent president having the power to go back and revoke the prohibition. So I don't know we'll have to see what exactly that means, what the president will have the ability to do. Between him, executively, or Congress, you would think that would be enough. They don't need to go to the courts.
Behind you, Big D, that guy made for us, that looks so good on the shot on you, that Live from Studio 6B disc that we got from that one of the viewers. That looks great. Love that placement.
So look up that act, Delgado.
What's it called?
And see what it says. The Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act of 1953. I can't imagine. I mean, it says here that the law provides the president a power without a subsequent president having the power to go back and revoke the prohibition. That would seem strange to me, because you would think that any executive order from one president could be undone by another. But the way this reads, I don't know. We'd have to see what that means. Exactly. How can one president have more power than the next? If executive order puts it into place, then an executive order will be able to undo it for 17 Raiders. That would obviously be the most sensible thing you would think. I'm just reading what the New York Post is writing. I don't know the act, so I don't know. But the way they phrase it here, they say he's exploiting this thing, and it says, the contention is that the law provides the president a power to ban oil and gas leasing. So it's not saying he's doing this by executive order. It says he's exploiting an already established legislation, the way I read it. But I don't know. We'll see. Who you leaning towards in the game, Slick? You looked at him yet?
I have.
I'm surprised he's going to.
Yeah. So I don't want to give you any tips here now, Big D.
You know, Delgado, see if you hadn't said anything there. I was waiting for one moment that I could say it and get him to give up some information, and you had.
He knows I'm so forthcoming.
He would have done it right
trying
there.
to help him out.
So upfront about things.
Trying to help him out.
Look at that. I just planted the seed right there. He was about to tell me, and Delgado had to chime in.
I'll tell you.
All right, 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B. I just tried to get slicked. I was so close.
And I blew up your
Delgado blew up my spot. Snuffed out what I was trying to do.
That's it.
I almost got slick to give up what he was thinking about the games. I was waiting for the perfect time to catch him off guard where he wasn't thinking about anything and say, hey, Slick, what do you think about the games? And he was going to immediately start telling me who he was thinking about, and Delgado caught it.
Well, yes, but I was looking at the games. I said, "Oh yeah, I was looking at."
You were about to tell me what you were thinking.
Yeah, I'm definitely no poker player. That's for
He
sure.
really was.
Do I have a poker face?
Thank you, Delgado.
I'm so glad I stopped him.
Good,
Delgado jumps in and says, "Don't give him any information, Slick."
Delgado, you know why? Because Big D wants to, figure out who's going to pick the opposite of. He likes the Chargers. I'll take the Texans.
Bingo.
So if I know. What are you talking about?
Bingo. All right, let's do some sports. Speaking of, and here with that is Slick Rick. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, My Pillow. LFS6B is the code to use. Farmer Brooks jumps in and says, "Book it, Packers." So I will be all over Philadelphia for sure.
Yeah, well, we don't know what's going to happen there with the quarterback.
No, we don't. And actually, I had that line at 4.5. I would have thought Philly would have been a little more at home.
That could be a right point.
So I might be on Green Bay on that game. I don't know. We'll see.
Might be right about that one.
I'll have to look at it. All right, Slick, what's going on in sports?
Okay, let's go back to the NCAA men's basketball. Right now, we got Utah trailing Iowa State 68-51, 5 to go there in the second half. Marquette and Georgetown in a good one, tied at 58. Marquette right now, number 7 in the country, 6 to go there in the second half as well. Baylor all over Cincinnati, 62-44, 4 to go there in the second. Also in the second, about a minute to go, Iowa and Nebraska in a good one too, 74-70. Iowa's up on that one. Texas right now trailing Auburn. That'd be number 2 Auburn, maybe soon to be number 1 after Tennessee hit the toilet tonight. 32-25 over Texas. Check that, 34-25, minute to go there in the first. And it's all over, Rick, the suspense. The Gators have bombed the Vols 73-43. Number 8 beats number 1 tonight. That just went final. What an upset.
Tennessee scored 43 points in the whole game?
Yeah. In the whole game. I told you, they shot more bricks than they used to make the Great Wall of China. What are you talking about? And Louisville over Clemson, 74-64. And how about this one? Another upset, Big D. Number 6 Kentucky goes down to the Dogs. Georgia, 82-69. Another upset tonight.
UF was favored tonight by 3. Boy, that was a dead might give away that something was up.
Something was up.
I mean, I know they're home, but you're playing number one and you're favored.
That's crazy. Wow, big one. Big upset there, I think. But the odds makers are always on it. We know that.
What did they shoot? Tennessee shot
less than 20.
21.4%.
Well, they came up a little. They were at one point they were at 14. They were at 14%.
13.8% from three.
What'd they score in the first half?
Oh, man, like
17 points, I think?
15 points.
15 points.
Yeah.
15.
34-15 at the half.
Yeah, something wasn't right there. Maybe
wow.
I didn't check to see who was playing for them tonight. Anyway, NHL, let's get to the ice. Big D, good one. Hurricanes and Lightning tied at 2, and they're just about ready to head to overtime. 56 seconds to go there in the third. Flyers and Maple Leafs, what do you know? Tied at 2, 9 to go there in the third. End of 2, the Blues over the Wild, 4-3. Jets 3-1 over the Predators, end of 2. Final, Oilers blank the Bruins, 4-0 in Boston. Red Wings over the Senators, 3-2. Final in OT. Kevin must be dancing around. We got the Stars in OT. Beat the Rangers tonight, Rick, in the Garden, 5-4. Blue Jackets 4-3 over the Penguins, and that was a shootout. Wow, a lot of tight games tonight. And Ducks and Flames, they're getting it on at 10 p.m. puck drop, and 10:30 Golden Knights at the Sharks. NBA, anything worth looking at there? Well, the Mavs beat the Lakers 118-97. Just went final. Celtics taking on the Nuggets. That's at 10 p.m. out in Denver. And we have the Hawks over the Jazz, 56-45. And, a lot going on in sports. But we got Vikings player's wife claims she was heckled, touched, and called names during game against Lions. This is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. What the heck is going in the Motormouth City? Wow. Whitney Reisner, the wife of Minnesota Vikings offensive lineman Dalton Reisner, is ripping Detroit Lions fans for inappropriate and rude behavior toward both the Vikings and the Minnesota team's fans. Reisner recalled attending a game in Detroit last year and noted that fans were very abusive, Fox News reported. Last year, I wore a flashy purple jacket, probably borrowed it from me, and I've never been heckled so much at an away game, she said early in a video posted to social media. So proud of my husband finishing his 6th regular season in the National League playoffs. Let's go playoffs. Going into a bit more detail, Reisner added, little did I know that I would be heckled, touched, and called names at last night's game by Detroit fans, all because she was a Vikings fan. Reisner was not the only woman close to a Vikings player to blast Lions fans. Taylor Saunders, who is currently going out with Vikings linebacker Blake Cashman, also took aim at Lions fans and claimed that she heard them wishing injuries on Vikings players. Wow, I don't think I've ever heard that in the bleachers before, but unbelievable. So, they think, look, I don't blame those Detroit Lion fans. They are upset. It's been a long run, Big D, since they've been in the Super Bowl, but please, behave around the ladies. I mean, come on.
They've never been in the Super Bowl.
No, long time, right? They've never been there, right? Long time since they won a championship. They won the NFL championship. I think they won it in '64 when I was born. But the Detroit Lions right now, yeah, their fans got to chill out a little bit. But they're excited in the Motor City, and I like them. I'm kind of rooting for them to do it all. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, be careful what you do there. And Brandon Aubrey.
Did you see this former Oriole pitcher that passed away at 37 years old? Someone in the chat just said.
I did not see that. No, I did not see that come up. There was somebody on the
Brian
Pirates.
Matsis. Passed away today at 37 years old.
That did not come up in my feed. I'm not sure if he was a regular starter or not ringing a bell there.
Anything else, Slickster?
Well, yeah, Brandon Aubrey, the Dallas Cowboys kicker, he did apologize to the cheerleader. He kicked the ball to her head during the kickoff at the end of the game.
Most exciting play of the game.
I tell you the truth, it's the whole season. It's unbelievable. So she kept that as a souvenir. It would be the only souvenir anybody would want to keep this year after that. But that whole season was a kick in the head. And the Bears were denied the opportunity to speak to Mike McCarthy for a head coaching position. So looked like the Cowboys are bringing back the coach, Big D. I know you love him. And that's a wrap in sports right there.
They're going to bring back the coach again, you think?
Yeah, I think they are. We can't wait. Another 3 years of Slick Rick suffering on the show.
Oh, man. All right, let's do some news. Wrap it up with Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, my final story of the evening comes from across the Pacific there, Damon, as Kim Jong-un is cracking down in North Korea with a penalty of time in a labor camp on the sale of hot dogs. Yes, I said hot dogs. North Koreans have reportedly been banned from eating hot dogs as part of a crackdown on Western culture.
He looks like he ate them all anyways.
Exactly. Infiltrating the Hermit Kingdom. Dictator Kim Jong-un has declared that serving the sausage was an act of treason. Eat the sausage. The Sun reports amid the rising popularity of the South Korean dish inspired by the U.S. So they don't want any inspired dishes from the U.S. that came through South Korea, it seems. People caught selling or cooking hot dogs, Damon, in the face of the prospect of time in the clink, one of the country's infamous labor camps, while Pyongyang has also decreed that divorcees...
Wait. Who is that?
Pyongyang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got to get Harry to get that one.
Has also decreed that divorcees could also be jailed. So you can't get a hot dog and can't get divorced. As far as the regime's efforts to quash capitalist culture among its citizens, it has forbidden the sale of bunjali, a dish imported from pro-Western neighbor South Korea as well. So everything's getting banned. There's going to be no American July 4th Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest over there.
Well, more importantly, you know what else is not going to be there for sure then is Costco.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Quite frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best deal going is the Costco hot dogs.
So there you have it. Things are not going well for the people in North Korea as they can't eat hot dogs, they can't get divorced, and they're stuck with...
They can't cut the mustard.
Kim Jong-un. Right.
And it's so funny because he, of course, looks like he's eaten all of the hot dogs.
Yeah, he looks like a ballpark, Frank. They plump when you cook them.
Yeah. So it'd be funny.
He's plump all the time.
It'd be funny that fat boy don't want no hot dogs there. Probably looking out for his own. You don't want to push up to 400.
That's it.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us, all our truckers, all our farmers. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron, Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you. Live from Studio 6B audience. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow night. 8 p.m. Mr. Nolan will be back to join us on a Wednesday live from Studio 6B.